and not expectation that we get it in June. For me, if we have a decline in inflation in next week's numbers, I think that I'm going to stay in the June camp. If next week it stays or even unexpectedly rises, then I'm going to move to the July camp, and I'm going to be prepared to kick my own expectation can down the road as necessary. But right now, still better than not. A lot of people are in that same boat, and I think it's to some extent somewhat of a hope bias here. July, much better expectations of either possibly a second cut, but definitely a first one if not. But there's still a 22% chance of nothing. And at that point, remember, if we get the first one in June, we only have 4 more with an expectation of 2 cuts. Three are still on the table. Still on the table. Okay. Let's go take a look at similar kind of a thing. It sold off. We were up a little bit, and then all of a sudden I started yapping, and bam, it sells off. But now we're getting this this dragonfly doji here. All right, this is the range. Okay. The range is this. If we get back above that big red candle, you're an A. I'm going to say candle body. Into the candle body, you're a B. Below the candle body, you're a C. Everything hinges on this candle right here that just happened right as we started talking. Okay? Dennis is a B. He says we're going to stay in it. That's a safe bet. I'm going to go B too as I look at this. I think A is going to be tough. Like, you really need a hell of a rally. C, sloppy. It's getting sloppy for Fred. He's going C. Okay, fair enough. Anybody going to the A side? Bella says. I'm only getting a couple of answers. Where is everybody? Give me some answers. Get participating. Brad says B. Ted says C. So I've got a couple of each. I thought it would be like a fun thing where I say, all right, we have to have at least X number of answers, or I'm going to randomly dismiss somebody. And then if we don't have enough people, I'm going to go in and randomly pick a person, and then I'm going to dismiss them, and they get kicked out for the day. So the group has to work together. I don't know. Some kind of a fun extra bit of excitement and randomness to the mix. Tesla looking poor. We'll take a look. Anyone else want to get in on this? Stella is, what did I need to look at her? She says we're going to keep going down, and by the time we get to 4 o'clock, it's going to be at 518.06. No, I don't like this color. I blocked it out. I know what it is because it's only one candle. Stella's down here. That's Stella. Anyone else? Okay, moving on. I got to think of a new game. I feel like the quiz show is losing its appeal. Everyone's just getting bored with it. So let me think about it. I'll find a new way for us all to engage in something. All right, the VIX. Let's take a look at that before we move on, and then take a look at our watch list and see. I don't know about you guys. I am looking for setups and triggers right now. That's what I'm expecting to see. The VIX, I'm expecting, you can see that the VIX has a clear resistance level around 15 and a half or just a little under. We touched it here. We touched it here. We got through it, but not for long. Touched it here, touched it here, touched it here, touched it here, and here we are. We didn't have a higher low. We had kind of a same low, but we did certainly break this consolidation pattern. Where's my drawing tools? We had a bit of a tight consolidation, and you can see we busted up out of that. However, this is holding. My thought here, we could very easily see this come back down. But for anyone who is in a, something always bad is happening. If it were to come down and stall and turn, that is clearly a higher low. And I would be careful for a hedge, thinking that that's maybe what it needed to bust up and find its way back up here again. I'm not looking for that to happen in April. Maybe in May, right? Maybe in May, but I don't feel like there's anything that's going to push it to that point. We'll see. But like I said, my posture is bullish. I'm expecting bullish. I'm trading for bullish signal. Couple of requests. How do I like rig? Transocean? Well, I mean, oil's been strong. You can see it broke out. Certainly, I would say that building out a stronger energy-based watch list, whether it's producers or refiners or transport, it's prices are up. That's helpful to companies like this. So, yeah, I would say it matches, but just like with oil stocks waiting for a pause, same thing here. Okay, what else? Let's get to the watch list. That's what we need to do. Apple. What would make me like it better? 1, 2, 3. Break the consolidation. Higher high, higher low. And then I think we could break. I'm patient. I'm always going to watch Apple, and I'm always going to root for Apple. Micron is your new best buddy. All right. Some chips have looked good. AI doesn't look ready yet. Soon. Could come all the way down into this range. But it's definitely yeah. Okay, let's see. I don't know why. Yes, sorry, I couldn't get my things to erase. AMD looks fine. It's holding up, holding on the 50. We'll see what happens. Amazon, it's a grinder, but it still looks fine. AXP, very close. Very close. Now remember, we are not far from earnings season. Anytime you start to see these show up, I have 20 days of extension from here to here. That's 1 month, basically. 1 month. So when you see this thing get to this point, we're in our last effort for a trade before we've got to start to be careful about that. Remember that financials are kind of the kickoff. We'll have about a 2 to 3 day window where we have a big chunk of financial companies report earnings, and then a couple of days later, Agilent. Nope. Am I off? Are we not at earnings? What happened here? Maybe I'm off, but I thought the financials typically are kicking it off these days, and there they are. So I think maybe Agilent has changed. Not Agilent. Sorry, Alcoa. That's my bad. That's on me. Alcoa. Yes, there it is. Right? 17th. And once Alcoa hits, everybody hits. That's our 2-week window where there's 70% of companies putting earnings out. Speaking of Alcoa and basic materials, aluminum, plastics, gold, silver, oil, all of it. That's not helpful That doesn't make things cheaper. So these are the kinds of things that we might flesh out on our watch list. Would be more more almost inflationary protection, so to speak. Okay. Where were we? Amazon, XP, Boeing, nothing for us there. Bank of America pulling back, looking for a potential trade. That's across the board on financials right now. Across the board on financials. If we were to look at a few of these here, let's just kind of take a look. Citigroup. Stella says no on Citi. A little bit more of a pullback. Let's try Capital One Financial. Stella says yes on Capital One. So still hit and miss from the model standpoint. BLDR. BLDR may give me another bite. I tried to catch this little flag pattern here on this pinch. Jumped a little early, got out quickly. In, out. Now what? Now I'm thinking, hey, this thing looks like it's getting ready to go again. It's on the list. Citi on the list. Not much time. Not much time left. I need a trade to develop here in the next couple of days, probably. Caterpillar survived this little hiccup. That would be tight. That's tight. Interesting. CMG, man, I'm waiting for the split. I looked at the options on this. They're terrible. They're so terrible. But we'll see what happens when it gets to the split itself. There's Capital One. Looks great. Plenty of time. Capital One on the list. There's Conoco, oil, strong. Not where do you give the pullback? Here's what I'll tell you. You'll hear me talk about bounce trades versus continuation trades. This is a great representation. We saw this back here. We said, it broke out. So at this point, especially on this candle, we're like, if this thing pulls back, I'm going to look to get a piece. Well, it didn't. What did it do? It broke out the next day. So this candle here, I'm with volume. This is where I would have to use a Heikin-Ashi to say, I'm getting in and looking to pull out. Yeah, at this point, Fred, there's no way I could pull the trigger on this. If I was going to do a continuation trade, it would have to be the first, these red candles where you think, look, we're going to get a consolidation. And then the next day when it doesn't consolidate, that's your next opportunity to say, okay, that's my last chance to maybe pull the trigger on a Heikin-Ashi. Because if you got in on this day, set your stop, you're going to move your stop. And you would now have moved your stop for 6 days. But at this point, okay, Costco. I'm about to kick Costco off my list, actually. CrowdStrike. See, I think CrowdStrike, I could see if you tried to pull the trigger here and then it bounced you out, but look what it's doing. It's still holding on to the 50. I would say that, even waiting for the first Heikin-Ashi, which would be tomorrow. On a bullish day. Yeah. Okay. I like CrowdStrike. Delta, yes, except you don't have much time. You don't have much time. DHI, same thing, a little bit more time. DIA, waiting for it. Fastenal. I like Fastenal. Are you an A? I don't know. What did you put? Yeah, you can be an A. You can be an A. It's got to be pretty bullish to be an A. Fastenal looks good. What's the problem? So if you got to trade tomorrow, you don't have but maybe 5 market days to try to catch a little something. Vol's high, but I would expect it to stay high. This one's tough. So close. GBTC pulling back a little bit. I would say right now that Bitcoin is in a consolidation. It's in a triangle type pattern right now. Whoops. This is going down. This is going up. Waiting to see how that thing breaks out, essentially. Right? There's GE surging after. Now, this is, I don't know how they're going to account for this. This was a stock dividend. The stock, it looks like it just gapped down. But it didn't. It got, stock distributions. It looked weird. There's gold, very strong. There's Google, a little overextended, maybe looking for a retracement. Home Depot breaking down to new lows. About to get kicked off the island. Home Depot holding up. Worth looking at. Intel got smashed today. Down 8%. Oh, not good. IWM looks bullish. Looks like it's getting close to a trade. JP Morgan looks bullish. Potentially close to a trade. Meta bullish. Tradable yesterday, today. Right? Tradable yesterday and today. What else? Where's my next one? Morgan looks pretty good still. Microsoft. Yeah, I think Microsoft, look at that. It's beautiful. It's viable. Absolutely looks good. We'd love to see Microsoft continue on in a trend. Love it. Love it. Okay, Netflix. Communication services. So look what we have. Netflix, Microsoft, Meta, all in strong trends, all bouncing. Very strong leaders in their groups. This looks bullish. NVIDIA looks close. Just waiting for that last little kick. I'm still bullish on NVIDIA. I don't know about you. Let's see how Stella looks at some of these. Let's start with Meta. I'm bullish. Stella says, oh, she says no. Wow. Where is that coming from, Stella? Like, I feel like we don't even know each other. It's a little more iffy. Come on, nothing? Netflix? Stella says this thing about to crap out. NVIDIA? She is really biased, it seems, against the technology stocks. Wow. Well, that's something to consider. I think NVIDIA still looks pretty good here. Picard. That looks like a hammer to me in an uptrend. It's not confirmed. I'm definitely still bullish on industrials. Try gold. We looked at gold. Gold is definitely bullish, but it's a little overextended at this point, right? It had this consolidation and it had just a little bit of a false start there without having closed because it never broke support. Yes. Now I think we're about 5 days too late up here. And the last thing I want to do if I'm 5 days too late is get in here only to watch it go into a week-long consolidation and see what's next. So Stella likes, yes, she does like them when they're a little bit like at extremes, right? So she starts to pick up on it, and I think that's one of the times where she gets, okay, Pakar, I think, looks bullish. BLTR, Palantir. I mean, it's barely hanging on. I guess we'll see what happens with this one, but yeah, I'd be a little bit reluctant here. I gotta say, I think the Qs looks like it's ready for a bounce. No? What are your thoughts? We got this little like kick up out of this this little consolidation. Overall, the trend is still very much on point. Trend looks good. We're here, still above the 50. Looks like we're maybe ready to catch a bounce and bing, ready to go. I think the Qs look great. Stella follows the path of buy strength and sell weakness. Yes, but sometimes that path can get you into trouble in swing scenarios, right? We have to recognize the swing patterns so that we can be like, oh, which is why I scale. I can sell some, hold some. If I sell some and hold some, and then the momentum reinvigorates, well, then in that situation, I can end up buying back in potentially, right? So, I see higher lows and higher highs and trends and strength. So sometimes we're a little at odds, which is okay. We bring balance to each other. Well, she brings balance to me. I don't. She's a model, so she doesn't get much from my contribution. SMCI. Let's get there. I think that looks okay, actually. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Are we on point? Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. Where are we? SPY. Okay. So let's check in on our contest. For those of you still participating. Oh, look at that. We said, is it going to have enough to give us the V? And nobody predicted it. Nobody. We have some Bs. The Bs are looking pretty good, but it may be looking a little too good. Methinks. That's true. You were, Bob. I did give you a post facto ipso facto score. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going here. What else? What else? That is quite a comeback, isn't it? Pretty strong. Petering out a little bit, though. TSM holding up. Here's the VIX today. The VIX seems to be coming back down. There's some issues, right? There's some issues with Thinkorswim. Is that touched similar extremes from a body standpoint? We've gone, I feel like it's the same high and the same low. That's my thought. But I guess it's dependent on how you perceive the bodies and the shadows, right? Okay. Waste management. Oh, that's looking strong right there, right? Looking strong. Higher high, strong trend, a little bit of a pullback. Um, Everything looks pretty good there. Trash is king. Walmart. I still think Walmart is viable. I didn't want it to break through here, which also aligned with the 50 it's holding. So you can see your stochastic starting to turn. If we get some bullishness here, I'm going to say yes. That's viable. Let me know your thoughts about Walmart. Okay, let's look at the XLs. Okay, let's start with materials. Still strong. Strong, right? We don't love the strength that we see from materials right now. It makes everything a bit more expensive. So yeah, we there's not much we can do with that as of now. Okay. Okay. XLC looks great, right? That looks great. It's being informed by uh it's being informed by Netflix and Meta and Google's holding up, right? And Google's holding up in this regard. So yeah, we're not really concerned about what we're seeing there. Energy, my gosh, look at that surge. I mean, we were concerned about it here, and then more concerned here. And then we're like, what the hell is going on? And now it just had the biggest 5 days yet. So Bob, you better be right. This better be a blow off top. We better gap down and make an abandoned base. Um, Anything less than that is unacceptable. Okay. Oh, we've been bullish on it. What I'm saying is expecting a consolidation, right? We got a mini, but other than that, this thing even a price volume divergence, especially on this gap higher. So yeah, I mean, worth keeping an eye on. Financials looks like it's pulling back and getting ready for another move. Industrials, same thing. They both look bullish. To me, technology still looks bullish. A little more sideways here recently, but overall, still looks bullish. Staples, ooh, be careful. All the way back to the 50. I'll tell you what that doesn't look, though. That doesn't look defensive. We don't seem to have a defensive surge going on. Healthcare pulled back. Utilities stable. Consumer discretionary is concerning, right? We don't really have anything there. Okay, what's next? All right, let's see. Well, that's it for the list. Let's go back to SPY and the VIX one more time. I'm ready. I think that this looks ready to go. We got bullishness. I'm bullish. I'm ready for bullishness. Wide number of places that have bullishness. We're starting to see triggers develop. The VIX looks poised to drop, and it's been low the whole time. The market looks poised to bounce. Trends are still good. Employment numbers are good. What's your concern, if you have one? Let's ask that question. If you have a concern, what is it? Let me know. The sky might fall. It is a possibility. Definitely a possibility. All right. Well, let's award medals. Rates working higher. I don't think rates will go higher, but I think they could stay where they are longer, and that would be the concern. Look how close it got. For A, it needed to get above the top of this candle, Bob. And it got very close, and then it stumbled. But that's a nice little V pattern right there. We're calling it. We're calling it right at 15:55, 3:55 p.m. You've got 38 seconds, and then we're donezo here. So yeah, this week I will be back on Friday. Friday we will have morning coffee together. We will get a sense of the non-farm payroll numbers and how the market is responding the last little bit of time prior to inflationary data next week. All right. Well, there it is. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. I hope you enjoy your Thursday. I will see you Friday morning. Be careful. Oh, yeah. See, look at that. There's that pullback. The last dash of hope pulling back. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy trading.